When I blow it up. The girl? Yeah, it's the girl, right? I like these.
I like that. Oh, that's so cute. You gotta send me that.
This is what I do.
Yeah, like we gotta.
But listen, y'all, we about to handle this business up in the room with Juliet.
Hi guys.
Come join us in the room, you know, get loopy. What up, y'all? You know it's me, Malik.
We're Midine the Queen.
And Juliet, you know.
Special guest.
And she's definitely going to tell us what she's about in her movement and what she's doing for the Felix Organization and what's her life all about.
All right. Kingsloop and our viewers would like to know more about you. Who are you and what do you do?
I'm a former foster youth and now a foster care advocate.
Okay.
How did you end up in foster care?
I ended up in foster care. I was 3. This is the story that they told me. I was 3 months, and they said my mom left me with a neighbor, and the neighbor ended up like she left me there for too long, and the neighbor reported it to ACS, and I ended up in foster care that way.
Okay.
By the time my mom came back, I was already in care.
Wow.
That's bad. I shouldn't be laughing.
Hey, laughter
No.
helps the soul, you dig?
Maybe because I talked about it so much, it's not like as harsh.
Anymore?
Yeah, and I'm older now, so it's like I could talk about it with strength behind it.
Yeah.
Definitely some strength behind that. Okay.
So do you remember the last time you seen your mom?
I was 5, and once she found out I was in foster care. At the time I was with my first foster home. Mm-hmm. We call them the Williams. It was like a big family, but I was with them, and she went to visitations. At the time, they put her through this thing to try to get your child back. Like you got to do parenting classes, and she had to make sure she wasn't taking any drugs and stuff like that. So she was going through it, but I guess had a hard time completing everything. And then once she saw how good I was with my family, my foster home, the Williams, she made a choice to, let them raise me.
Oh, okay.
So the last time I saw her, she came to my grandmother's house, and she brought me this bike. When we used to have our visitations, one time I walked past this store, and it was like this big red tricycle with like the strings on the end and stuff, and I stopped. And she must have went inside, spoke to the salesperson or whatever. But the last time she came to my grandmother's house, she brought the bike. She was like, "You're not gonna see me no more. Do you wanna come with me?" And at the time she just bought me a bike. I was like, "Hey, sure," But by the time we got to the end of the block, I was like, "Well, where's my mom?" Yeah, I was like, "Hold on, where's my mom?" Because I didn't consider her my mom. I considered my mom, Diana Williams, my mom. And I was 5 at the time. From 3 months to 5, that's all I knew. So she was like, "She's not coming. Do you want to go back?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want to go back with my mommy." And she watched me walk back to the house, and that was the last time I saw her.
Oh my gosh, that's a lie.
In 2011, on the Oprah Winfrey Network, you stated to Ann Slayton that you didn't trust anyone at the time. Can we do it over?
What?
Oh, yeah, edited this stuff?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ready.
In 2011, on the Oprah Winfrey Network, you stated to Pam Sultan that you don't trust anyone. Did that change in time as your life went on?
It definitely changed. I was 18 at the time, and I knew that at 21 I would be aging out of foster care. So it was like, I'm 18, I'm looking for my mom. I was on the Oprah Winfrey Network. I had these mentors behind me, but it's like they were already at a point in their life where they were good, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like they already went through being teenagers, finding yourself. And I'm at 18, most 18-year-olds, they graduate in high school, they about to go to college. It's like a beginning. Whereas for me, it's like, what the hell I'm gonna do? Like, damn, I don't know who my mother is. I figured I would have been found her by now. Like, what am I gonna do? So at the time, it was just like, F everybody. Like, I don't trust nobody. It's me against the world. But through time and experience. I wouldn't say I trust people easily, but I give them the benefit of the doubt. What you give me is what I give you. If you give me a reason not to trust you, I will shut you down quick. There's no second chances, so to speak. Like I could
Because you've been through a lot, so.
Right, so it's like, okay, I could clip you really, really quickly.
Right.
But I feel like I've grown more. And like, I give people the benefit of the doubt.
You're supposed to.
Yeah.
Because you've been through a lot.
But I'm
It's
not
hard-
naive.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm not naive. So if I feel that you're trying to, like you have an alternative motive, I'll play you the way you're playing me.
It's like that Pisces in you, huh?
I guess so.
Do you still wear that mask you spoke about to project yourself when you were younger?
I don't think I wear a mask anymore. It's like what you see is what you get. I'm very blunt, respectfully, but
You've grown.
yeah, like I've grown. I'm a woman now. I'm a mom. Like I like to love, but at the same time, not everybody has the same heart as you. So
True.
it's like I'll love you until you give me a reason not to. And I doesn't mean I wouldn't love you, but you learn people and you learn how to keep everyone on a certain level.
Yeah.
Like I could love you from a distance too.
What resources do you have helping you in the search for your mother, Nicole, and what have the results been?
After Pam helped me look for my mom and we didn't find her at the time, I kind of like stopped the search and just more so focused on me. And shortly after, I had my son. So I always was looking for something of my own, something that I could look at and see me in. So once I had my son, it was like, okay, I'm good now. Like I got what I wanted. It was something of my own, something nobody could take away from me, and like he filled my void. But at the time, after when my son was like a couple months, like right before his first birthday, I think, my biological aunt, my mother's family, they live in England. That's where my mom was born. They knew that I still want to find her. So I guess she had checked herself into like a rehab type of place, and she had to put like a emergency contact, and she put my grandmother. And they reached out to my grandmother to let her know like what was going on with her. And my grandmother told my aunt hit me up on Facebook in my inbox and was like, this is the information for your mom. If you want to use it, you can, which I did. I called around and I eventually got in touch with her.
That's cool. What
Yeah,
year
it was
that?
crazy. I think it was last year. Yeah, I think it was last year.
How did you find out about the Felix Organization and Pam Slayton?
When I was 16, I started doing life book trainings with Barry Chapkin. And what a life book is basically a way for a foster child to put the pieces of their life together with like any pictures you have from when, you were a child, and reaching back to old foster parents and just getting like report cards, whatever information you have about your life, and making like a sequence thing on like a board. It could be on a book, whatever way you choose to do so. And through doing that, Barry had brought me to like a board meeting one time where DMC Sheila Jaffe was at, and once they heard me present, like I got a call the next day from Daryl, DMC, his manager, telling me that he wanted me to roll with him somewhere. And I'm like, what? Like, I thought it was like somebody playing on my phone, like, we'll have a car come pick you up, and he wants you to come with him and talk or whatever, and he just wants to talk to you. So I was kind of skeptical, just being me, of course.
Okay.
But once I sat with him and I told him, he was like, he wanted to be my mentor, and he said he wanted me to help him, but I'm like, how can I help you? But through time, I realized he didn't really know about foster care, and because he didn't grow up knowing he was adopted. So through hearing my experiences, it kind of helped him to understand what is foster care, what it's really like, me being a real example of a foster child, not just hearing about it. So through that, Daryl and Sheila, they're the founders of the Felix Organization, and they basically put me underneath the wing.
Okay.
What is the Felix Organization? What about What are they about and where can we find them?
The Felix Organization, right now, they send foster kids away every summer to camp. And during the year, they do different events to be able to send the kids away to camp, like fundraisers and holidays. They have dinners. Like Thanksgiving is coming up, so they're having a Thanksgiving dinner where all the campers will come and their parents. It's like a family. But they have a website, www.thefelixorganization.com. You can go there, donate, volunteer, anything you want.
Okay. Word on the loop that the legendary Darren McDaniels is your mentor. So how does that feel to have that strong support in your corner?
I'm definitely grateful because not a lot of foster children have an icon to be their mentor. But at the same time, I want to use my resources to help other foster children. So I want to eventually have like my own mentorship program.
Okay.
Whereas I could extend my resources to other foster children. And, you know, a lot of times foster children don't know what they could achieve and what's out there for them. So through my foster care program, mentorship program, I want to help them be resourceful.
As in, what type of resources would you give these kids when you do your own thing?
Life skills, how to apply for food stamps, where to go to for your birth certificate, your social security card, how to get an ID, how to apply for NYCHA to be able to get your own apartment, school applications, and how to do your FAFSA, and how to make a meal, how to budget yourself, just the little things that nobody thinks about, as well as the big things, but mostly life skills.
Okay.
Because once you have that down, it makes it a little bit easier to accomplish other things.
Definitely sounds great.
Yeah, we heard about your writing too. At what time in your life did you start writing?
I feel like I always wrote. Like as I went through things as a little girl, I just used to write my feelings out. I remember writing poems out of Roses is Red, just making stuff up out of it, like freestyling off of it. And as time went on, it was therapeutic for me. I didn't want to talk to any therapist. I didn't want to talk to
So it helped you
anyone.
out.
Yeah.
So you really had like nobody to talk to about
I had people I
anything?
could talk to. I just didn't trust anyone to talk to them.
Yeah, you said
So
that.
my writing was my way to get my pain out.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
So when you're writing, where does it take you and what's the vision?
Wherever I want to go. It depends on what I'm writing about. I don't have just like a particular style. It's just whatever way I'm feeling, I'll just flow with it, really.
Okay. Can you say one of your pieces to us?
I don't have any. Majority of my writing is online though. Like if you used to Google my name, a lot of blogs and different stuff have my writing on their sites. So you can always Google my name and majority of my life will come up.
Is it poetry that you write?
I guess so. I just write.
Just
Like
write?
sometimes it'll rhyme, sometimes it won't. Yeah, like it's just free writing really. And sometimes like it'll rhyme and sometimes it won't. Sometimes I'll be sitting in the car, listen to a song and remix it. Like it's just what it is.
Do you personally work with the Felix Organization, and what do you do with the kids?
I don't personally work with the kids. I'm at all the events, but for the time being, my mentors more so want me to focus on school. Like I will have so many ideas that I want to do with the children, but they tell me like, slow down, you have time. Just focus
write
on
them
school. Yeah, just focus on school, and once school is, done, then we could more so dive into this. So,
Okay.
but I have a lot of things I want to do with the children.
Did
Like
this-
year round, not just one time of the year.
Did this experience make you stronger in life?
Of course. I'm a better person, a better mother because of the things I went through.
Okay. What advice do you have for the young females out there in the foster care system that may empathize with your situation?
I don't know if I can give them advice.
You can.
I don't like.
You've
What do you
been
tell
through a
someone
lot.
that's going through that? Like, no one wants to hear,
No,
"Oh, it'll work
trust
out in the
me.
end." And you know what I mean? Like,
Trust me.
you never know.
To know.
You never know.
Word. Because to know that
Right.
that you've been there and look where you at now.
Yeah.
You in college. You have a son, and
Right.
you have a icon as your mentor, and people actually will listen to that.
Yeah.
You know, and you're from Brooklyn.
But I don't, like, what would I, oh, like, I didn't know the key to get through that. It's just, you just got through it. You just fought. Like, come
Never
from
give
Brooklyn,
up.
it just, yeah, definitely never give up. But, you know, it's okay to have moments whereas you down, you cry, but after a little bit, you gotta put your big girl panties on, put your heels on, and keep it pushing. Like, it's just that simple. You can't give up.
You hear that, ladies? Can't give up.
If you could change the way ACS and foster care handle these changing cases, what would they be and how?
I think not so much the paperwork. A lot of times with ACS, it's all about your caseloads, and they give you so much paperwork to do that the social workers don't have time to actually care for the children and spend quality time with them. It's more so, all right, I have to do this. There's so many guidelines, and you know, with love, there is no guidelines. It's just pure love. You know what I mean? You can't tell someone how to love. But once you have all that paperwork, by the time you actually want to show the child, you know, some love and really just check on them, there's no time. Like, there's no time. That's why I don't want to be a social worker. I feel like being a non-profit organization, I could help them more that way.
At least you thought about it and
Yeah, everybody always say, oh, I know you're going to be a social worker. No, I'm not.
don't
They
know.
would fire me. They would definitely fire me because I wouldn't even care about the paperwork. I wouldn't.
There's a lot of things going on in ACS and the foster care system, so where females are losing. Some of these guys is losing too, and
Yeah, I think especially today's day, like, you don't know what's going on behind the closed doors. And sometimes a pop-up visit is necessary. That may not be in the requirements or a part of your job description, but just to pop in and, you know, when they know you're coming, of course, I remember I had two great foster parents. It was the Williams and then the Metis family. The Williams I was with until I was 8 or 9. And then the Metis family, I was with them from when I was 10, 11. I was with them for like a little while, like a couple years, I think 5, 6 years or something. And the rest of my foster parents, they would know, all right, they come in here, they will go buy me a new outfit, make sure I'm really clean and smelling nice. There was food in the fridge, the house looked good. You knew how to prepare.
Yeah,
Whereas if you just
love. That's love, right?
no.
Oh.
I mean, like,
That's,
the Williams and the Metis, it was like a real family for me.
Okay. Oh,
Till today, I
different
check up on
homes.
them. But I was in 17 different homes. Those other 15 homes, they would know when, you know, they'd tell them like, okay, I'm gonna come by Wednesday. Tuesday, the house was getting clean. They was going food shopping. They would buy me an outfit to make it seem like, you know, I was good. Whereas that's not really what was going on. They prepared for them to come. Whereas if they just popped up without telling them, then they would really see what was going on. You know what I mean?
Okay, I see.
Like, it's just crazy.
the Metis and the Williams, huh?
Yeah, the Metis and Williams are my best foster homes. That's till today. I'll check up on them, call, and that's family for me.
Okay,
Besides the Felix Organization, of course.
okay.
I see more.
So
So
what?
you're a student at Kingsborough Community College. What's your major and what are you planning to do gaining your associate degree?
Right now, I am majoring in liberal arts, but I plan to switch over to surgical technologist.
Okay.
Because as a surgical tech, you can work with the associate's degree. And I want to further myself with the nursing degree as far as my bachelor's. So as long as I'm in the field, you know, I can still work and make good money. So that's what I'm going to do.
Nurse. Seeing a lot of people, insulins and all that, blood pressure.
Yeah.
So what's your biggest goal and tell us how you plan to accomplish it?
My biggest goal is to turn my childhood pain into a victory and to, you know, make it into a legacy. I want to turn all my ideas into an empire. It's going to be like a lifestyle for foster children. It's not just a one-time-a-year event, from after-school programs to extracurricular activities to different programs in schools based just for foster children. Just the all-around lifestyle.
You can, and you will. Just put
Yeah.
your mind to it.
Yeah,
Don't
my
give
mind is
up.
definitely to it.
Don't give up.
Definitely to it.
Do you feel like all the effort you put into your life mission is starting to pay off, or will pay off in the future?
It has paid off. It's a slow process, yeah. But, you know, they say the best, you know, successful people is like a slow pace instead of the ones that do it quickly,
Yeah.
and it doesn't really pay off. So I do feel like it's paying off, and in my future, I will be able to leave this earth knowing I accomplished something and I left a legacy behind.
Okay, that sounds real loopy. What's the most negative situation you've been in? How did you manage to overcome it?
The most negative. The most negative. I guess, I don't know, like in one foster home, I was molested by my foster father. It was on Remington Avenue, I'll never forget. And I had my little sister with me. She wasn't my biological sister, but she was like my foster sister. The first time I left the Williams, because she was a foster child as well, she had to leave. Like, once they take one foster child, they take all of them. So once we left, we was in, it was like my first Caribbean home, and the foster father was molesting me. And I told the foster mother, and she brought it up in front of him, and they laughed it off. So after that, like, I kind of shut down. I was like, damn, like, if I told her, and deep down I feel like she knew it was true, because she was a nurse and she worked in the night. So, and I had a babysitter there, but the babysitter had a separate room. So I just felt like at that time I had to shut up and just make sure that it happened to my little sister. And I actually speak about that in the book that I'm writing.
And you didn't have nobody to talk about it. That's really
I told my foster mother, I felt like she was the person that was supposed to protect me, and if she laughed about it, it was just like, I was keeping my mouth shut, because then nobody was there to protect me. And God forbid they would have took me away and my little sister would have been there. I just wanted to protect her at the time, so I feel like that was the most hard thing for me. I feel like I had to grow up then. Like I had to sacrifice my innocence for her to make sure it didn't happen to her.
What's your little sister's name? Do you still keep in contact with her?
Yeah, she's up here. Her name is Kiki, Kalisha.
How old is she?
I'm 23, Kiki is 18. 18.
She's about to go to
She'll be
college?
19, yeah. She's in, I always get confused. I'm not sure if it's the Army or the National Reserve. She's a part of the service, I know that. I feel like instead of like, it's like a process. Once you make a complaint, that child stays in that home. Whereas even if the complaint is true or not, while you're investigating, that child should be taken out of that home. Because who knows if you come back, that child is still alive. You know what I mean? Like, who the hell wants to make a complaint and still have to live in a house with the people?
Right.
Like, that's like, what am I telling y'all for? You're gonna clock out and go home, and I'm still here stuck in this. So that's just like crazy to me.
That's a lot,
Yeah.
You just
So,
hit.
yeah. What writers influenced you to become the published writer you are now?
That's bad. I'm supposed to read more. I wouldn't say I'm influenced by another writer. Honestly, I think music influences me. Like, I'll listen to music and get inspiration. Like, I'll listen to it and then I'll just start writing off of that. Like, music is very therapeutic for me.
Okay.
Like, I'll read. Lately, I haven't been reading much besides textbooks. But music, like, I'll listen to music and I'll find a way to make a writing about it. Or I'll reflect with something personal with me and I'll write about it.
Oh, they always say music is a getaway.
Yeah, definitely.
So what's the music? Who's the artist?
I like R&B. I like Monica, like that type of songs, like Monica, Keisha Cole, Mary, like the painful stuff. the F you nigga type shit like that type of stuff. Yeah, Monica, Keisha Cole, people that have been through stuff that I've been through. Like Keisha Cole, she had like the foster care stuff going on. Of course, my mentor DMC, he has some songs like basically just saying like, you know, he gets it, he understands. Yeah, those are my favorites.
Does writing reflect you on your personal life? Can you describe your style?
I don't have a style. I just write.
It's just Juliet Forde.
Yeah, it's just what you see is what you get. And I think that's what's different about my writing. You never know what you're gonna get, but it's always gonna be good. Like I'll always take you on a journey.
Okay. So I want to understand you're a youth advocate. What does that consist of?
A youth advocate. As a youth advocate, I advocate for the children anyway. There's no limitations. My life is an open book. Like at any time. Once I get into it more as far as doing events and, you know, bookings and whatnot, there won't be any limitations to what I would do as far as speaking with the kids. I plan to have like a separate phone, whereas if a child is going through something in the night, that's something else I want to do. It's like have like a, not a shelter, but I remember at times I used to run away and I would go to shelters and they say because I was underage, they couldn't take me. So I want a place like that, whereas foster kids, if they're going through something, they're running away, they could go there for the night and then in the morning there'll be someone to advocate for them, like whatever issue they're going through. So just being there, being a family for other foster children.
I like that you have it all planned out and stuff like just. I like that. So now that you and your mother, you're a mother with a son named Prince. How old is Prince?
His name is Kylan.
Kylan?
Prince Kylan, that's what I called him when he was a baby.
Oh, how old is he?
He'll be 3 on November 25th.
How does being a mother feel, and does it feel like that missing part of you? Like, fill that missing part of you? My
void is definitely filled. I want more children. I want more, but I'm focused on him right now. It's beautiful. I'm working hard, so you know he doesn't have to go through things that I went through and be humble. It's nothing that I'm gonna hide, whether it's good, bad. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna get the real in me. Period. In general, you don't have to write, you speak. They say only what they want you to know. You know what I mean? Like anytime someone asks me a question, if I go visit an agency, there's no limitations to what you can ask me. You can ask me whatever, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. You know what I mean? So a lot of people, they can't back up their shit. I can back my shit up.
That's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna back that up. Man.
Yeah. You speaking this and you have this mission, but are you really about this life? This foster care shit, I'm about that life.
You hear that shit about that life?
It's like they put it
about that life.
For the cam.
Huh?
I mean for the public.
Huh?
It's like they putting a front for the public.
Right, like what are you really willing to put in that work? Are you really willing to make sacrifices for the better? And you know what I mean? Is this really a lifestyle? A lot of people just do things because, like politics, a tax write-off or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that definitely tax write-off.
A tax write-off or something like that. Whereas if you didn't get the money, would you still do it? You know what I mean?
From the heart.
If there was a child that's needed to be taken in and there wasn't a shelter, a foster home to take them, would you take them to your home that night? Would you let them into your home? Or it's like, nah, I'm not, that's too much for me, you know what I mean? You can find me on Instagram at fostering_scholars and on Facebook, Juliet Forde.
So can Kingsloop
publish some of your
more of your poetry?
Of course.
want to know.
Yeah, I could send you guys some of my writings. You could publish it.
Thank you, Juliet.
You're welcome. Thank you guys for this opportunity.
Any closing thoughts? Any shout outs you want to give to the people?
Shout out Felix Organization. Shout out the Meadis family. Shout out the Williams family. Shout out my son Kylan and my beautiful fiance Joseph.
Hey, she's loved.
It's love out here, baby.
Yo, This has been definitely a super loopy situation interview with the king,
Midie.
the queen, and the
Juliet.
queen. You know, Brianna behind the camera, Jay right there. We definitely here. Thank you, Kingsborough. Thank you, Honors Club. Thank you, Honors Lounge and Student Publication. We out. Later, y'all.